Or secret. Okay, dude, this can make sense.
That's it, guys. I'm not gonna explain it again. Sorry, guys. If you guys...
Oh là là, ce 180.
Salty Nuts was not really that good.
Zed's coming elbow. Zed's coming elbow main. Dead.
Boys, one shot.
Sipho!
Come on, boys, come on, boys, come on, boys. 13 seconds. No.
Dude, I need to sneeze again.
It's not the game.
Really illegal though, like if someone's not 18.
Very difficult. Yeah.
Can speed up.
No!
Mikey's in
Hollows B-hopping tutorial.
Game is fucking getting bigger again.
All the time.
47 follows, nearly at 50.
Blue tack!
Salvation.
I should make a game.
Probably a lot to ask, I don't know.
I'm truly shocked that that guest just killed me. I don't know.
Ruin any experiences for anyone else.
Are you a grill? Can I have
Are you a
like
grill?
Oh my god! Did I just hit a miss?
Do I have the nuke yet? Okay, I'm on a 25 kills.
Oh, clip that. Please, someone clip that. Please.
My week.
Tell me if that link works.
Community clan, they don't cheat.
He started dating just over a year ago.
I break my keyboard because of Fortnite? Not good, bro.
I am not hating, we're also got spanked.
There are hundreds of different types of crosshairs or scopes. Have you ever asked yourself a question, which is the best one? There was never made a game that you can customize that much as Krunker. Because of that, in Krunker, you're going to come across a lot of different scopes. Some good, some bad, and some even uglier than others. One particular scope will give you a big advantage and the other one will mess up your aim and view. Today we're going to check out all the scopes in Krunker, and the next time you will play your favorite game, you will know exactly which scope to keep and which ones to swap. But of course, remember, there is no perfect answer to this. You're going to have to customize it to your own liking based upon where your strengths or weaknesses are, or purely based on what you can see better, because visibility is a key when we are talking about the crosshairs. So we ask the community what is the best crosshair and the scope in the games. Not cool, Reddit mods? So we had to ask around the streamers and their communities. So far we have 62 total clicks on our Krunker scope survey. We've got the answers from different parts of the world, although the most is from the United States. The rest winning states are the UK and the Singapore. Do people use the customized crosshairs? Well, some do, some not, and apparently 78% according to our survey use their own and 22% use the default one. Do they use the animated ones? Well, the only 6.3% do use the animated crosshair. Speaking about a personalized scope, 19% use the default and the 80%, again, nearly the same number, use their own. And here again, speaking about the animated one, only 12% use animated scope. Speaking about the overall team, it seems that most people here in this game are using as simple crosshairs as possible. Some do like to use flashy, but those are not the majority. Speaking about the funny ones or extremely unique ones that no one uses, this is rare as well. So what types of crosshairs do people use? The winner is a cross. 70.7% people use the cross. Apparently a lot of people also use a hollow circle or see-through circle. And this is actually very unique to a Krunker, and maybe it's dependent on the way how Krunker tracks what actually is ahead and what is a miss. There's a lot of people who selected something else, and this category will be described in this video later on. Which colors are the most useful? Well, you can guess, but the main colors, the red, blue and the green, are the winners. They're followed by purple, which is actually not a shocking, right? The purple is very unique color, and the Krunker doesn't use this color, right? The next one that is used a lot here is a black one. And what is shocking here, there are some people who use other colors than those mentioned here, and or using the transparent ones. Here you can see some scopes that people use the most. There's 14 responses here. I'm assuming there's more scopes than that. But this video is actually not gonna be about the scopes. I'm gonna make a just separate video about the scopes if this one will be popular. Also, I have to mention here that those people added something up here. In real life, the crosshair is called aiming reticle. They are parts of aiming devices that are used to assist in visually aligning ranged weapons. There are hundreds of them. In the sake of simplicity, we can divide the ones used mainly into 4 categories. Red dot sight is the most used and the most awesome in real life. Sadly, in the games, you don't get many real-world benefits. Even red dot sight reticle doesn't need to be just a dot in the middle of the sight. For example, there's a Russian Cobra sight that combines dot with arrow and a circle together. Holodeck sight or holographic precision sight is a very prevalent sight in military usage. The aiming reticles here are usually pure circles in the case of USA Army usage, or a circle with a partial crosshair in the case of the Russian Army. Another worth mentioning is the reflex sight with 1x triangular reticle sights based on Trigicon optics, the same company that does the ACOG sight as well. ACOG usually uses chevron or some combination of arrow and standard crosshairs. But why real usage is different than in the games? Well, because in simplicity in games, it's beneficial to travel on X and Y axis. Crosshairs overall. Overall, we can say the bigger it is, the easier it is to measure distances between the crosshair and the target. But also, bigger it is, more it covers of your screen, making it harder to see, and therefore you are losing some visibility. It all will matter on the playstyle you're playing to. Long lines are there to help you with spatial reasoning. Therefore, in theory, it should make you better in flicks. Holes inside of the crosshairs can in theory help with landing shots. And usually, more pro you are, the smaller the crosshair. Also, better eyes you're having, the smaller it is. Although this actually doesn't necessarily mean that if you make your crosshair smaller, you will become a pro, right? Just use what fits yourself. Types of crosshair. Standard crosshair. The high visibility with large obvious lines. Sometimes you can add sizable gap to it, although the Krunker doesn't have that option yet. Sometimes you can add dot in between. A standard crosshair is best for tracking. When using this standard crosshair, it's easier to align your shots on both vertical or horizontal line. The standard crosshair, although very simple, can be modified a lot. Usually it's having a dot in the middle or missing some lines, mainly the lines on top, therefore looking like a letter T. Or it could be looking like a 2 lines with the dot in the middle. These modified crosshairs are basically a transition between standard crosshairs and the dots. Dot crosshair is inspired by red dot sight aiming reticle used in real life. Can be very hard to spot at intense situations, which can be problematic when flicking. And here, in this case, it's extremely important to set the correct color for such. Circle. If it's too big, you will lose the idea where the center actually is, therefore using your ability to land hits. So usually people tend to make the circle smaller over time, ending up with the dot itself. There's also a modification for the circle, usually called sunspot, that connects dot and the circle together. A row, also called carotte or chevron or partial triangle, is something in between dot and the standard crosshair. The problem is that it doesn't help you with lining the shots on vertical or horizontal line. Advantage here is that it usually takes less space on the screen. Full triangle is not used very often, mainly because it takes too much from the screen, and it can help people who are having problem locating the crosshair when the other types seems barely visible. No crosshair. There are some people who don't use crosshair at all. Either they are very good natural talent players who just know where it lays on the screen, or they use some additional software that adds crosshairs to the game. Or lately there are some gaming monitors that have started adding crosshairs into the games or into the screens as well. Of course there are other types of crosshairs, but they are not used that much. There's a flare, which is basically 3 dots that are aligned on y-axis, where one is bigger than others. There's a golden bell, where I have no idea who would use this one. It looks terrible. It looks like a circle with some additional elements to it. And the other one worth mentioning are squares. They're either hollow or solid squares. It's not very often used, although Krunker has it as an option in a custom crosshair settings. All the scopes mentioned in this video can be found on web address spiky.b/games/Krunker/scope. I'm assuming you already know how to change crosshair in the game, but if you somehow don't know how to do it, in the settings you need to find the crosshair option here, and there you can select either default custom layer or the image. In our case, if you don't want to mess up with the custom type of the crosshair, you can just add the image, right? And for that you just need to have the URL, which you can get at our website. Also don't forget to use always shown, as it can help you tremendously. But there's one thing, if this video gets 1000 likes, I'll make a website tool where you can generate your best crosshair, where you can customize it with way more than it's currently possible in the Krunker. I have some idea in my mind, so right now tell your friend to hit that like on the video and let's make it together happen. Also, I have to mention that I'm a Twitch streamer, and we also have a community, Spiky Monsters. You can find more about us on the website mentioned before.